I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking any air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect when I show up.
I can't hold on to football. It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it.
Introducing Mike Cash Collins and Scott Stack Simpson as the Fantasy Millionaires.
YOLO. Let's effing go, because 4 weeks from this Thursday, we will be watching NFL football. And in between that time, we will be drafting, mock drafting, shot calling, and best balling. So, Sir Scott Stack Simpson, let me feel some real quick from you, homeboy.
Dude, I am soaring sky high. Just like you said, we're on the precipice of non-stop football action for the next 5 months. Even preseason. I'm going to watch preseason. I don't give a shit about preseason normally. I mock preseason. I go blah, blah, blah preseason. This year, nuh-uh. I watched some of the Hall of Fame game. Shout out Eli Manning. Not really. I watched everything I can get my hands on this year, and I can't wait for football to be back. Did you see any of the game? Did you see any of Chase Claypool making a diving catch where he hurts his shoulder?
I saw that.
Yeah,
well, I did see that.
Why is he in there still? What's going on?
What? He wasn't injured though, right?
No, I know. He just looked like anybody who I love who goes down hard on a play, he had to get out of the game.
You know what was interesting about that catch too? Because I was watching that game on and off, but I saw that play. It's so funny how the adrenaline makes these guys just invincible, and then as soon as he was like called down, he's just falls back down, but he was ready to run into the end zone. Like he got up and was running, and then it was dead. And then he's just like, I guess he got the wind knocked out of him. I don't know. I was scared when it happened, but yeah, he looks like the elite wide receiver on that team. That's for sure.
Oh, man. And guess what, guys? I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but he may or may not be heavily featured in wide receiver 2 theory this year. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. But you know who actually did get hurt in practice? Not Chase Claypool, Justin Jefferson got a little AC sprain in the shoulder going down hard. He did get hurt.
I don't like that.
No,
I don't like that.
Like that either. That's some bad juju, Miss Schuster, right there, honestly.
Yeah. So who got this? Is you said Justin Jefferson got an AC sprain?
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks. He's down. He's down. He's not out, but he's down. And I don't want my guy to be down. That's not good. I want him to be there.
Yeah. So, see, I've had an AC sprain.
Ooh,
it's taken 2.5. Oh no, wait. It was right after my son was born. It was about 4 years. It's taken for it to heal. Like they're not good. Like it sounds like, AC shoulder sprain. Like, that's a ligament. That's a ligament. Now they're in the NFL. He'll be fine. He'll be it's not going to prevent him from being able to play, but that sucks. That sucks. It's not a good injury. Having had one, not good.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that for somebody who you might take in the second round, mid-second round to the end of the second round. Definitely somebody who I'm considering as a top 7 wide receiver this year. So it does. He might be number 6 for me. I'm not sure, but it does knock him down the rankings a little bit. And speaking of rankings, somebody, our boy Saquon Barkley, has been just dropping like a stone to the point where this week I saw him, or maybe and last week I saw him going in the second round, the 13th pick, 14th pick in the second round, 14th or 13th overall. Sorry, not in the second round. It's only 12 rounds in most best ball drafts. But you passed on Saquon. News came out today that he is off the PUP list. He's going to go. He's going to get started. Not that waiting until week 3 that was kind of prognosticated about there. What do you think about the Saquon dip? Did you buy any? Are you hoping to get some still as it goes back up? What's going on?
I gotta say, it really is interesting how playing fantasy football just reminds me of the stock market, because there's just sentiment that comes along with players, like their stocks. And for me, I've been pretty adamant that an ACL tear is not a big deal in 2021. It's the technology has just evolved to the place where this is not some type of injury that is going to derail someone's career or make it so that they have walking problems, anything like that. When they retire, they can fix ACLs now in such a cool, efficient way. And I've been banging the drum that Saquon is going to be ready for 2021. I've been sitting here, on this show some, and with anyone who wants to argue with me, Saquon is the number 2 for me. Okay. I don't know why, but I have been affected. I've been affected by this roller coaster of news to the point where I missed that dip. I wish I had bought the dip. I could have got him at in a 12-man basketball league. I could have got him at the 12th or 13th pick, being drafting at 12, and I didn't. First time I've ever passed on Saquon in a best ball draft. So I have to just be honest that this roller coaster has affected me. I'm still
You're reeling.
Yeah, I'm recovering from all of this, because I sort of thought that they were being kind of weird, and Saquon was going to pull off his suit and suit up week 1, which now it looks like he is going to do that. But just last week, when they were putting out that intel that he might not be ready till week 3, it just finally got me. And it just made me a little, hesitant in where I'm valuing him, because your first round pick, it's so crucial. So I think I'll recover, but that's my honest position. I've been affected by this roller coaster Saquon ride.
I gotta tell you, I've not been, because I've been fading Saquon, and probably to my own detriment this whole season. I don't think I have many Saquon shares. Sorry, Steffi Smalls. Sorry, Snacks. But I will not apologize to Giants Kingdom next, because what I'm going to say is the truth. I do not, this is transitioning a little bit, but we're sticking with the Hall of Fame game this weekend. We saw Peyton Manning get inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was beautiful. He had a funny speech. He made fun of Ray Lewis. It was hilarious. He said, this year, we only have 6 minutes to deliver our speeches, because other, past inductees have gone on and on and on, have rambled. He goes, as a matter of fact, Ray Lewis, who's here today, thank you, Ray, just finished up his speech from 2018 just now. So, he was just throwing, jokes around, and he was making fun of his brother. And I love him. He was awesome. And speaking of making fun of his brother, Eli Manning is now being put out there by people who want to cause controversy as a Hall of Fame first ballot lock. I already know he's getting in. It's not something I know he is. His name is Manning. He has 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and he was in New York. I get it, right? Fame has a stretch there. The Hall of, it's not the Hall of Greats anymore. It's just the Hall of this guy's famous, but I will say this. I will say I'm willing to accept that he gets in, but not first ballot. That dude's not if you think that's a first ballot Hall of Famer, then throw all the other first ballot Hall of Famers off the cliff. They don't matter. It doesn't matter when you get in. You get in first year, second year, third year. That guy is not a first ballot anything. No one ever voted for him first. Not for MVP, not for best in his elementary school tiddlywinks competition. That dude has gotten no first place votes ever. Second in swim team, third in go-karts. Dude is not number 1, and we know it.
So it's interesting. We said we wanted to discuss this on the show because we started to talk about it, and I said, let's save it. Let's do it. Let's do it live. Let's do it on air. My position on Eli is I am very much on the fence. I've been dragged onto the fence by some of his stats. I was in the he's not a Hall of Famer camp. So I think he's he's close, not there now. A gentle breeze can kind of sway me in either direction with the argument.
What if I told you? And he has won. He has been on the winning side against some really good quarterbacks. His team has beaten Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau, has beaten Brett Favre in Lambeau, and that's great. Good for him. He's beaten Tom Brady. His team's beaten him twice in the Super Bowl. But did you know that he's never won a playoff game where the other team has scored less than 20 points? So or more than 20 points. So every single game that he has won a playoff game, the other team has scored less than 20 points. Every game.
Let me advocate. Let me advocate for the younger brother Eli Manning. So is Aaron Rodgers a Hall of Famer right now if he retires?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Eli Manning has more passing yards than him.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's who's about this thing about accumulation of yards as well. Is that if you play long enough, Frank Gore, you get 1,000,000 yards. That's how it works. If you can play the longest, you get the most yards. Doesn't mean you're great all those years. Frank Gore's been playing for the last
like John Elway,
I'm not saying John Elway. That dude went to 4 Super Bowls, right? And he won 2 of them. So he got 2 Super Bowls at the end. That's
2 Super Bowls tied with Eli.
Yeah, but
Eli has more passing yards than John Elway.
In 4 of them. He was in 4 Super Bowls. It means he led his team to 4 Super Bowls, which it's not a 1-off or a 2-off. It's 4 times you've done that. That's quads. So I'm going to give him that. But I'll say this about John Elway.
He's definitely a better quarterback than Eli Manning, but I'm just giving you stats. Yeah, he's definitely a better quarterback.
But let me ask you a question. What about the eye test? When you watched Eli Manning in your life,
that's what I agree with you. I don't get it. I didn't know he was this good.
You ever say,
I didn't know his stats were this good.
That's a Hall of Fame right there. Do you ever say that? When you watched? Never once. Not one time.
Listen, I that's where we're 100% agreement.
No one
He doesn't look like a Hall of Famer to me.
No.
But all right, is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer?
Probably not, unfortunately. I don't think probably not.
Okay. Well, he has more passing yards than John Elway.
That's okay. That's okay. It's not all about one stat gets you in or one stat doesn't get you in. It's for me an amalgamation of an experience. And so what people are doing in this experience is they're laying heavy wood on those 2 Super Bowl MVPs and beating Tom Brady because of just what the milieu of it is, which I understand that. I get it. But if you are amazing in 2 playoff runs and then the rest of your career, you're mediocre, to me, that's not Hall of Fame. That's just amazing, incredible performances when you came down to a couple of games. And here's the thing, too. He did play well in the Super Bowl. He didn't play poorly, right? But it wasn't like his team was crushing the Patriots. He didn't blow anybody out. You have to assign an MVP in those games. And those low-scoring games, of course, the quarterbacks are going to have more yards and more things. Unless you have Julian Edelman just going for like 12 catches and 120 yards, whatever it is, you're not going to get the MVP. The quarterback's going to get the MVP. It's the most likely person to get it. So it's not like saying, oh, man, he was by far the best player on that field. Everybody knew it. You know who the best player on the field was for one of those games? David freaking Tyree, who caught a football on his helmet. Give that guy MVP.
That's another reason why it's the eye test. But the truth is that was a pass. Eli threw the pass, and it didn't look sexy. But Eli scrambled, made a play happen, and beat the 16-0 Patriots in the Super Bowl. Listen, I'm on the fence. And let's say this about Matt Ryan, because I do think, I'm sorry, top 10 in TDs, top 10 in yards. Everyone else is in the Super Bowl. Well, Matt Ryan is he's right behind Eli in yards and TDs. They're both top 10. Eli is 9th in all-time TDs. So I do think if Eli gets in, Matt Ryan certainly has an argument. But again, Eli hasn't beat with the hardware. So
Joe Namath's stats are some of the worst ever, and
You can't look at that stuff. That's like looking at John Havlicek and
but
stuff.
here's what I'm saying. The time that Eli played, he did have a lot of yards. But the whole NFL changed while his brother was there. His brother changed the NFL. He happened to benefit from that. You're going to have so many guys in the next 10 years retiring. He's not going to be 10th. In like 10 years, he's going to be like 20th, or it's going to be like 18th or something. You're going to have people who are going to come after him in the next 10 years because people are throwing for like 5,000. Yeah. So I like that. Don't take the numbers. Don't take the numbers. But here's
Matthew Stafford and Russell Wilson are creeping up the charts for passing touchdowns.
They're going to get there.
I'm just saying though. I'm just saying based on who's already been inducted, his numbers passed the eye test.
This did not pass the eye test. He threw 27 interceptions one season, and he has a total of 369 turnovers, which is more than touchdowns. Like
Eli Manning, top 10 in passes completed, passing yards, and passing touchdowns. I mean, at the most important position in the whole world, quarterback. I mean, it's the hardest thing to play.
Play for 16 years, but that's the thing. If you suck and your name is Manning, you can play for 16 years because he only had 7 winning seasons out of 16. So it wasn't like he was crushing it. He was a 500 quarterback during the regular season as well. So, I mean, when you add up everything together, I understand there's a case for him to be in, but not first ballot. Like
is Philip Rivers a Hall of Famer?
He never got past the second round of the playoffs, man. I don't know about that. So
well, see, that supports your argument. Like the thing that gives Eli, I think, the edge is just the hardware, and he does have it. And
he had no MVPs. He had no years where you said, like, that guy's the man. He got in there because he stuck around. It's like the guy who is like, hangs around the pretty girl for a long time, or the pretty girl who hangs around the hot guy for a long time. And then eventually they cycle through all the boyfriends or girlfriends, and then they're left with them. That's Eli. He's just there for 16 years. And look at Daniel Jones replaced him. Daniel Jones is Eli Manning too. And he is, not yet, but fumbling, intercepting. Maybe he makes a comeback this year. But
if Daniel Jones is as good as Eli Manning, the Giants are going to be a formidable opponent. That's the thing. Is Eli Manning, you can't say he's a bad quarterback. We don't know. Daniel Jones is like, this might be his last year of quarterbacking.
Ooh,
so
that's fire.
If he doesn't do well this year, they're going to figure out somebody else.
They should trade for Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? That'd be great.
If I was them, I would. But I mean, you can say what you want, but he is a 2-time Super Bowl MVP. Okay. And I like listening to both sides of the argument. I saw you tweet out that you completely disagreed with Mike Greenberg's take, and it was funny because I liked your points, but Mike Greenberg is probably the person who kind of influenced me. So I watched that tweet, and then I saw your rebuttal to it, and it just got me on the fence with it. So.
Well, we'll table this for now. We'll let the rest of the internet burn this one down tonight.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to burn down for you real quick. 2 highlights from training camp I thought were meaningful that we should just kind of see. If you haven't seen them, we're on YouTube. Check us out, please. Follow us at the Fantasy Millionaires on YouTube. Put in the Fantasy Millionaires into YouTube. You will find us. It's pretty simple, right? Okay, so this is a scrimmage, a dual scrimmage between the Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. Here up in the upper frame here, we've got our guy CeeDee Lamb. Over here is number 5, Jalen Ramsey. So most people have seen this, but if you haven't and Mike hasn't, I want to be the one to show it to you. So let's watch it now. Ooh,
man,
where's Jalen Ramsey when you need him? What happened to him? I don't understand. Like, where did he go? And it was right there. You see that little move he made with his feet where he went one way with his body and he turned with his feet? He's stepping back across Jalen Ramsey. They almost trip each other. That's how that's ballerina he is. Jalen Ramsey has his body turned the exact wrong way. As soon as CeeDee Lamb saw where his body was, he knew exactly what he was going to do to this all-pro. And where is he? I don't even see him. He's nowhere for like 3 seconds. And I know it's a scrimmage. I know people are going to say it's not real, but I'll say CeeDee Lamb looks like the truth. He just does. He looks like the truth.
Dude, I'm with you, man. Adjust your ranks, bro.
Yeah, adjust your ranks, please. Seriously.
Yeah, adjust your ranks. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So we wanted to show this one too. This is Aaron Donald versus what's the lineman's name? Is it McConnell?
McConnell. Let me go back. Let's check and see. Aaron Donald versus Connor Williams.
Connor Williams.
This is
Okay.
also at that same practice. We're kind of sticking with two of the hot events that happened, and they both happened at this event. So let's take a look. There's Aaron Donald right there in front of your screen. It's going up against him. They got the pads raised. They're pushing. They're still holding on to each other. They're shoving. They're throwing. They're grabbing. They're flipping each other. That was a judo throw there by Williams. That was pretty That was nice.
The internet went crazy on this because everyone was like, it's 2021 and you're choosing to fight Aaron Donald. Like what a moron you are for trying to fight Aaron Donald. And I get it, except for the fact this guy beats him up.
Watch him. He's got
he beats him up.
Aaron Donald's holding his face mask, right? And so he's got his legs over his body over his knees. You never want to be, if you're in a fight, you don't want your face to be that far over your knees. It means you have no control over where your head is going next. And so he takes him. He's like, oh, yeah, watch this, bro. Does a nice little turn move and slams his head on the ground.
Are you kidding?
Ooh. And then, then
Aaron Donald gets back up real quick, though.
Puts him in a headlock, puts him in a try to chokehold and everything. I got to tell you, man, I got to score that one for Williams.
Me too.
W. Sorry, Aaron Donald. Don't come and punch me in the face or anything. Or do come punch me in the face. Please punch me in the face so I can be a millionaire the rest of my life. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Actually, no, I don't want that. But seriously, if this doesn't get your blood, boiling for football, I'm sorry. You please turn off the podcast. Go get help right now. Stop it. This is what we're here for. This is what we love, and this is what you love. This is what Bethany and Brad and Bo and all our friends love. So we had to bring it to you, and we're going to bring you something else today too, which I'm excited about. The last couple of weeks, we've been breaking down Fantasy Pros ADP rounds 1 through 5. Right? We talked about who we like, guys we're fading, guys we're gonna we think are at a value or neutral, as you've been sharing, guys who they're right in the right spot. We're going to take a look today at rounds 6 through 7. We got all the characters. Now, here's the only thing. Because of freaking Michael Thomas falling, he's pushed Jamar Chase down into this round, and Aaron Rodgers at the same time has gone up, right? So Aaron Rodgers is technically above Jamar Chase, but I left Jamar Chase where we had him last week, and we're just going to jump in with Aaron Rodgers. They've kind of flip-flopped a little bit. Don't be, don't get your panties in a bunch, boys.
Right. And all we're doing here is we're giving you the Fantasy Millionaires thumb up if we're just smash that ADP, thumb down, fade that ADP, or neutral. That's how we're moving through these rounds on the ADP. We're giving you our hot takes.
Yes. Yeah. So this segment is the Fantasy Millionaires round 6 through 7. It is brought to you by Underdog. Go to Underdog right now and deposit as little as $10, and you can get a $25 credit to go play in Best Ball Mania 2, to go play in the Puppy 2, or what I love, and I won $10. I 10 times my money last week, Mike, on a Rivals Pick'em bet. They've got 2 different fun little ways to kind of put your money where your mouth is. Pick'em, where you can pick the over/under on players, and then Rivals, you do the same thing, but you're saying who's going to score more or who's going to be getting more yards, whatever it is. So that's a fun thing that you can do all season long on Underdog. They've already rolled it out for preseason. Go play. I turned $1 into 10. I could have turned it into 20. So it is just awesome. You put $100 in, and that $100, turns into $2,000 if you hit that. So I'm just saying it's a great thing to do. Make sure you use promo code NIMBLE when you get in there, and send us a DM or send us a message on Twitter that says, yo, Scott, Mike, Cash, Stacks, jump in a tournament with me right now. We will be there in lickety split time. We'll jump in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We love it. So please do that. All right, Michael, why don't you take us away here? I'm going to see if I can maneuver over here and start. I can't see the screen anymore because my computer's a little wonky these days. So if anybody jumps in there and I need to go back, you let me know.
We're starting out with Aaron Rodgers, and we're moving him up to this set of rounds to talk about, because like you said, Jamar Chase. So here's the thing. I'm still just adjusting to this Aaron Rodgers news. So I'm just gonna give you a hot take. big thumb up at this ADP.
Yeah, seriously, he's gonna get higher. He's gonna get higher. He's gonna get higher.
I mean, here's the thing, dude.
He's not.
He was the number one. He was the number one quarterback last year. He's the number one quarterback.
Josh Allen was the number one quarterback.
Well, yeah. Depending on how you score it, in our right. It's just depending on scoring.
In most leagues, he was number 2. In most, we have
the way we score it in the BFFs. He was number 1.
Yeah, well, because we got special bonuses for throwing over 400 yards, 300 yards, all those extra 1, 2, 3 points. They add up at the. We have a little. DraftKings has a bonus if you get over 100 yards receiving, 100 yards, or 200 yards. We do the same thing, but it escalates. So if you get big games, you get even more points. Like I think one game 4 years ago against me, Todd Gurley scored like 73 points or something like that. So it does get wild in our league. I agree. So
I mean,
he's top 3. He's a top 3 quarterback, and he's going 8 right now. That's wild.
Yeah. And I'm surprised that Deshaun Watson. I would have thought it would have been Aaron Rodgers regardless. I wouldn't have thought our scoring would have made that big a difference because he had 48 touchdown passes that he threw last year. Yeah. So I'm surprised that our scoring is that different because Aaron Rodgers last year was a man possessed. He signs a 1-year deal. You don't think it's now the Green Bay Aaron Rodgers? Like that's what they should just rename it, dude. Like he's in charge. He played chicken with them. He owns that team. He owns that organization. If they are in the same situation this year, they will be going for it on 4th down. Matt LaFleur is not.
Matt LaFleur.
He's looking at Matt LaFleur now. He's like, look at me. I am the captain now.
No, I agree. And you know what? This is a smash. So let's just say that Fantasy Millionaires are probably going to rank him in the top 5 of quarterbacks when we get our consensus out in about 2 weeks. So we'll put it that way. All right. Next up, somebody who we have the athleticism on display here in the picture. By the way, we love doing videos for all these guys, but YouTube did not appreciate our videos, so we needed to not do videos. So sorry, I got the stills, but I tried to pick some good stills, some thumbnails of memorable moments that make us really. This is why we like Brandon Ayuk. His athleticism. He is a physical freak. His ability to make space. He created this space right here by jumping over a man. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So what do you think about Brandon Ayuk right on that edge of wide receiver 3? Technically, he's still kind of that wide receiver 2. I think they say he'd go to 26 anyway if you're kind of being broad in that. It's flexible. But right there on the edge, do you like him as a wide receiver 3 this year?
So I'm neutral. It's not a big smash for me.
What's the hold up?
It's just I'm neutral. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Like I think he is.
Would you grab him? Would you?
Yes. It's this is one of those things now where you're looking at your team. You're in the 6th round. What are you strong in? What have you got your running back squared away? He's an awesome flex, and he's high end wide receiver 3. So I mean, and that's what he's being ADP'd at.
Right. I think he's in the right spot. I think you're not getting so much value there for him. You're paying up for him, but I think that's where he finishes in that wide receiver 25 range, 22.
You're neutral.
Yeah, I'm neutral too.
It's a neutral.
It depends on how I build my squad out, honestly.
Exactly.
If I'm in need of a high end upside wide receiver, I'm going to be drafting a couple guys.
That's how all of this is now with all of these guys. It's like there's some smashes in here that we're coming up on, but for him, I'm neutral.
Right. I'm going to say this too. I was talking about this with you, and I've talked about it with Matt Harmon too. The ADP is more accurate this year, I think, for wide receivers than it has been in a while. Wide receiver 2 theory last year was a smash. It was easy. I'm not saying it was easy, but Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf, Brandon Cook, CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, Justin Jefferson, Tyler Boyd. It was not hard. All of those players. CeeDee Lamb was in the 30s last year, and now he's being drafted as a wide receiver 10 8, 9, 11, whatever in that range. Like, so it's caught up. We've caught up. We figured it out. We've got the new blueprint. So there are people who are going to be values, but it's a little tighter this year. I'll just be honest with you. It's a little bit tighter. I think that the community in general is more educated. So we'll talk about wide receivers again in a second. But James Robinson, RB24. What do you think about this breakout back from last year? Came off of the streets, undrafted free agent, one of the best seasons for a free agent rookie that's just come out of nowhere ever. Now he's being drafted as a back end RB2. Can he be trusted there for you? Would you put your RB2 in his hands, or would you want to make sure you already had another RB2 and he was a flex for you?
That's a luxury. I'm again, he's somebody that I'm neutral with. It's kind of dependent on my squad. He just played so good and he looked so good last year. The big question mark is, what does Urban Meyer do with the offense? How does Travis Etienne, how does he fit into it? How do they, what type of role is he going to have in that offense? Based on, college evaluation, he's the more talented running back, but James Robinson is the more talented NFL running back as of now. So I'm just neutral. I think he's, I think his ceiling might have been last season. So he fits into, low end RB2, good flex for me.
Yeah. And what I would do with this is just, if he falls, I've seen him fall to the 7th, 8th, 9th rounds. I would not draft him here myself. I would just let him come back to me. If he's meant to be, if the love of my life is supposed to be James Robinson, he will come back. I trust that. So I'm not going to sweat it. Speaking of not sweating, and actually his ADP is falling, a little bit injured. Kenny Golladay, wide receiver 26, a wide receiver 3, squarely kind of right on that edge of wide receiver 3. Are you buying into Daniel Jones? We just talked about, Eli, and if Daniel Jones could do something, is Kenny Golladay somebody that you're neutral on, up, down? Where's that for you?
So this would be a smash for me. I am, so what, he's got like a leg injury or something like that? What's the injury?
I should know this. I'm a fantasy millionaire. I do not.
I'm just seeing. I'm just seeing he's got a leg injury. I don't. If Golladay is sidelined for an extended period, it would be a serious setback for the team. He also struggled with a hamstring injury last season. So, honestly, it's developing for me. Let's say Kenny Golladay is ready for week 1. Big smash for me here.
Yeah, if he is active and he's the wide receiver 1 ready to roll for that team, then yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I like these are the kind of guys that I like to draft on my team. 6'4", 215, 220 pound wide receivers.
Downfield, air yards, great catch rate. He's a man. He's Babytron. Is what?
He's Babytron. He's played in 4 NFL seasons, and he second season had over 1,000 yards, and then in 2019 he had almost 1,200 yards. So, I whenever guys are getting over 1,100 yards as a football player, they're unbelievable football players, and to get him as a wide receiver 3, if he's healthy, I smash it. But again, we have to keep our eye on the injury. Watch
the injury, and if it is something that lingers into the beginning of the season and he's just kind of not practicing, this is the cheat code, guys. Some players don't practice all week and they play. Kenny Golladay is not one of those guys, right? So I would really look at what the coaches are saying in practice. I always watch and listen to all the practice reports every week from every team. It's what I do for DFS. It's one of my DFS processes. So keep an eye on training camp reports for Kenny Golladay. All right, jumping into a couple back end or mid round, RB3s here with potential upside and downside too. Darrell Henderson, somebody who is, for me, really a smash at RB25, like a huge smash. And then Chase Edmonds, who is a thumbs down. I'm not drafting somebody who had 5 carries inside the 10-yard line last year and didn't score any goal line touchdowns at all. So I'm out on Chase Edmonds. I'm in big time on Darrell Henderson. Where are you at on both these guys?
Yeah, I'm a thumb up, not like crazy thumb up, but I'm a thumb up. So that means I'm definitely going to take him here for Darrell Henderson, and I am a thumb down, pretty solid thumb down on Chase Edmonds. So we're lined up pretty well here because, yeah, I mean that that Rams team made the playoffs last year, and he's going to be a 3-down back. So I'm just still kind of want to look at Darrell Henderson before I like make up my mind on exactly where I'm going to personally draft him. But at this position, I'm definitely going to draft him. Chase Edmonds.
In here, by the way.
Yeah, I'm taking the fade. Give me the fade on Chase Edmonds, dude. You got James Conner. And what's that?
Kyler Murray's there. I mean,
exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's Kyler Murray. They don't get he takes the touchdowns from all the running backs on that team. They get inside the 5, he just runs it in.
He Mario cheat codes it. He does a little like
yeah,
right, left, right. Was it Contra? Yeah, no, completely. Yeah, I'm with you. Fading Chase Edmonds, and you know what? I'm not alone. Other people are fading him too, which makes me feel good. It's like a bunch of fades out there on Chase Edmonds. So. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have somebody who I've always faded. Odell Beckham Jr. got a $2.1 million diamond tooth. Shows you how smart he is. If I was on the football field with that dude, I would hit him so hard that I would be looking for that diamond tooth afterwards. And then if I hit him that hard and it popped out, I would never give it back to him. I would wreck that dude for that tooth. Everybody's going to go after him for the tooth. So I'm out. What do you think about Odell?
He's the biggest smash for me, and everyone we're talking about tonight. He's so undervalued. Yeah, I how can you not
injuries?
Look at
injuries? He's gotten injured like 3 seasons. That's why. It's just injuries. That's it for me. He's super talented, but I'd rather have the guy next to him.
He's been injured 2 seasons.
Fine.
2 seasons. I mean.
Seems like 3 because it's 2 seasons I didn't have him.
Yeah, but every other season he's 1,000-yard wide receiver with 1,300-yard upside like that.
In that offense, he's not. Stefanski runs the football. Stefanski wakes up every morning and he eats chunt for breakfast. And I didn't know what chunt was. I had no idea. It is a Chubb and a Hunt sandwich. That's what he's thinking about. He's not. I mean, I know Odell has game-breaking potential. Here's what here's what Odell Beckham's going to be for you. He's going to be boom or bust. He's going to be like Deshaun Jackson a couple years ago when he would be getting like 30 points, 20 points, 2, 1, 10, 30 points. That's what he's going to be this year. And so maybe if you can pick the right weeks, you can manage him. I'm looking at other players, particularly wide receiver 28, who's coming up. I'd rather get this other guy. I'll be reaching for wide receiver 28 instead of for Odell. That's just me though.
Yeah, I don't want to move off it because I just want to say his talent is so immense, and you saw it last year when he played. I mean, that guy is electric with the football. In his first 3 seasons, he was on pace to be the greatest wide receiver of all time. Like he was going to break Jerry Rice's records. So that's the level of talent that guy has. I think everyone has kind of had their headaches drafting him. He has been injured, and because he's just been this wild man, but like that's all in the past. And now here he sits in the 6th round, and he could be your wide receiver 3, man, all day.
Okay, I'm gonna wait because I'm gonna tell you who I'd rather have in just a second. Javonte Williams from Denver. Up here at RB27 in front of Melvin Gordon, already being drafted ahead of Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon will be later in our round 7, I believe. What do you think? What have you heard about Javonte Williams? Are you in? Are you out? I love him personally, and I know I would definitely draft him here.
Yeah. Okay. Why don't you spice it up for me? Because I'll give you my take afterwards.
So a few different things for me are working in his favor. One, you don't hear him saying he's quietly having a good camp. which I think if I say that, people have to drink Everclear. There's a guy on Twitter today I said if I see that, or if I hear people say that, quietly having a good camp, I have to drink shots. So I'm just going to say quietly having a good camp like 6 times, and I'm going to send it to him tonight. Better effing do all these shots. He's not quietly having a good camp. He's out loud having a great camp. People are raving about him in camp. He looks like a 3-down back. He plays like a 3-down back. He can do maybe not all the goal line work this year. I think Melvin Gordon's going to have some of that as well. I think they're going to rotate him in goal line, but eventually by the end of the season, Melvin Gordon is going to be done. And I don't think it's going to be one of those situations where they just use him up to use it. They're not. They're going to play Javonte Williams a bunch. So I think he's a smash as an RB3. I think he's got RB2 upside. Maybe not right away. Maybe he's a flex in the beginning of the season, but by that week 8, week 10, dude is going to be the number 1 running back in Denver, barring an injury. And I want to have him. I want to have him for the stretch run. And that's how I feel about Javonte.
Okay. I'm actually just going neutral with him. So I'm on the fence like I am with Eli Manning. I'm
what are you worried about? What's got you not leaning my way?
The Vic Fangio offense and Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon, the coach and the scheme and the plays.
Yeah. I don't have strong feelings about this guy. Melvin Gordon is you're dealing with someone who was one of the most elite running backs in the NFL while he's been playing.
Wait. I have to stop you there. His rookie season is one of the worst rookie seasons from a high draft pick who actually played. He was one of the worst in my metrics. He averaged half a point per touch, and that's not good. That's like the worst ever. Whereas Alvin Kamara, in my sample for my running backs, Alvin Kamara averaged 1.5 points per touch 3 times, and he got way less carries than him. So Melvin Gordon.
And then after his rookie season, he gets 10 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns last year. So
Javonte Williams is going to take 3 or 4 or 5 of those touchdowns. So
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he won't. I'm just saying whenever there's, I'm just giving you my thoughts. I'm neutral. I'm not saying he's not capable of it. Melvin Gordon's 28. So,
Yeah.
I mean, he's old. He's old in running back. So the argument is strong for what you're saying. Like, he's going to be the number. I agree with you 100%. He'll be the number 1 running back by the end of the season. We agree on that. I just don't.
I'm not going to reach for him, but I'm going to smash him at that spot. If I get him at that spot, I'm going to get him. I'm going to be so pleased. I think he will fall because he is a rookie in our BFS.
Yeah.
By the way, I know if you're playing against industry people, which I do and you do all the time, all of these ADPs are inflated. They're just inflated because we are sharps. We know what I haven't not known where everyone's ADP is since February of 2020. Like, I didn't ever quit. I never stopped fantasy footballing, even during the whole offseason. You're always studying it. Our league mates do not do that. So I feel like we're a little bit ahead of them. Hopefully they don't listen to this. Shout out Russ. Shout out Chris. Shout out Dan, the Champ Fish, Blake, Josh, Joey. I know Olson, Marcus, you, me. Who am I leaving off of this? Ben. Anybody else in the BFFs that I'm forgetting who they're going to be angry that I didn't mention their name?
All I know is the triple champ is coming for that ass this year. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about who I'm coming for this year, and maybe the poster boy for wide receiver 2 theory this year. My guy Chase Claypool, the original. I think honestly, the original Kyle Pitts. People thought he'd be a tight end coming out of Notre Dame. He didn't become a tight end. He became a wide receiver. And this year, I think he has great potential. I'm not going to be reaching for him way early because he's being drafted here, but I'll definitely smash this ADP, and you'll get, I think, the wide receiver 1 on their team this year. Mm-hmm. And you're getting him as the wide receiver 2, hence the wide receiver 2 theory poster boy. What do you think about Chase? You in, you out, you Deontay?
Smash it up, dude. He started 6 games last year. So yeah, he started 6 games, had 873 receiving yards and 9 TDs. And he didn't start becoming a focal point of that offense, until a third of the season was done. The training wheels are off on that guy. He's definitely a perfect textbook wide receiver 2 candidate for the wide receiver 2 theory, because Deontay Johnson is being drafted higher than him, and he's going to be wide receiver 1 on that team.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna say that too. Our boy next, Tommy Titles Brady, Tom the Goat Brady. 7-time champion Tom Brady, QB9. I love it. I think it's a good spot. I would draft him a little bit earlier if I needed to, if I was stacking, if I had a thing going. But I think this is right where he belongs, right in here. He's got huge touchdown upside. And I was talking with Adam Rank today. Shout out Adam Rank on the Big Douglas show here in DC. And he was pontificating about how Bruce Arians does not like to run the football. He likes to throw the football. And guess what? Tom Brady's great at it. That's like what he freaking does. He's the best. He's the GOAT. So this year, I do expect him to probably have 35 touchdowns. He had 40 last year. He's not falling off. What you're getting in Tom Brady and what you've seen, and I thought he was going to fall off. I'm bad Scott, stupid Scott. He is not eating strawberries. He gets drunk once a year on a boat. He looks like he's 12. This guy is just living the life. I am all in on Tom Brady this year. I'll be picking him up here if he's there and I need a QB. What do you think about our boy Tommy Buns here?
I'm with you, man. Like, it's a slight thumb up for me, which means I definitely will. It's for me. It's again where my team is and what I'm doing so far at this point. But in the 6th round is definitely a good time to look for a quarterback. For me, that's when, if I feel confident about the rest of the guys, I'm definitely going to look for someone who's got top 5 QB potential. He does. He had Scotty Miller as his wide receiver 3 last year, and now he has Antonio Brown, and it's like that wide receiver set is redonkulous, dude. Like Antonio Brown, dude, he's Antonio Brown still. So right. I mean, I think he's gonna, like for all the reasons that you said, he's gonna come back and be Tom Brady yet again. And last year, I faded him a little bit. We still had him right around the same place for both of us, but I think both of us, he was more like a 9th round guy.
Yeah.
And, he just crushed his ADP. And I mean, what I think his floor is his floor is better here in Tampa Bay than any kind of low ball season he had as a New England Patriot. So
yeah, I agree 100%. And I would rather have him this year than Russell Wilson. Honestly,
me too.
Russell Wilson has a couple weapons. This guy has got more weapons. He's got better weapons. I'm sorry. I think that the wide receivers on Tampa Bay, I'd rather have them. Maybe DK is the best out of all of those, but I mean, freaking Mike Evans, and then Chris Godwin and Antonio Brown. So yeah, this is a smash for me too. So all right, let's jump in. We're nearing the end of this round. We've got T. Higgins from Cincinnati as the wide receiver 29, and then Juju Smith-Schuster, wide receiver 30. 2 picks after his boy Chase Claypool. What do you think about Higgins this year? You think he's a value here? He's second. He's a wide receiver too.
Yeah. No, I think he fits into wide receiver 2 theory. I know you're looking at Tyler Boyd for that, but I think T. Higgins ends up being the wide receiver 1 on this team. I think Jamar Chase is just being absurdly overvalued right now. Yeah. So, for me.
Can I say one thing about why I like Tyler Boyd? It's because his ADP is so depressed.
Right.
He's a wide receiver 3 who I think will be in that wide receiver 2 discussion. He's not going to be as far back as he's being drafted. So even if he finishes as a wide receiver 3, it'll be a lot closer to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins than where he's being drafted. So I think
that's where I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase. That's the pecking order, I think. So for me, T. Higgins, thumb up.
What do you think about and talking about like the triplets in Cincinnati? What about the triplets over in Pittsburgh? Juju Smith-Schuster, number 30, in out on Juju. I know he finished really high in our league last year. He had 97 receptions. Is that how many he had last year? I mean, homeboy was catching the football.
Yeah, 128 targets, 97 receptions.
The cuff, folks, just so you know, I got the nimble with numbers in the brain now. Like, I don't have a spreadsheet up. All I can see on my screen is what you can see. So yeah, our boy did get a lot of catches. Do you think he gets that many targets this year, or do you think the offense changes with Najee Harrison?
I'm a big smash here for Juju. This is last year. I was one of the only people in the industry who was fading him hard and arguing with everybody, and even helped convince you to back down on the Juju.
Wait, pause. I had Deontay Johnson as my wide receiver 2 theory poster boy last year.
You did.
He was in the beginning. I was fading.
You did, but if you go back and look at where you were putting him, I was the one who was saying I think you had him in the 3rd round, Juju, last year. I was the one who said 5th round for Juju.
No way. Let's go back.
Yes.
And watch the tape.
Yes, go back and watch the tape, dude. I'm telling you, we argued about Juju last year. I remember people hopping on the feed talking about how stupid what I was saying was. And I was arguing based on what I'd seen that they were using him a lot to block. Like, he's one of the best blocking wide receivers in the league.
A great block.
Yeah. So for me to get him in the 6th round, big smash. That's where I think he's gonna outperform that. Like, I think he's a 5th round draft pick. Like, I think he'll have the same type of season he had last year, which is a great season.
I think he'll be here at wide receiver 30 instead of at like wide receiver 20, where he was last year, 21, 22, whatever it is. They're all in that like, they're 12 points apart. I think he'll be further back this year. So I think it'll be Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster. I think the gap will be larger, maybe 20, 30 points, not 50 or 60 though. Definitely not 12. So maybe in the 20 to 30 range. So I'm not fading him, but I think I like T. Higgins over him. If I'm choosing between the two, I think I'm going T. Higgins in this one.
I like T. Higgins too because he's the wide receiver 1, and I think Claypool's the wide receiver 1 on that team. So I'd agree with that.
All right, into the 7th round. We're going a little bit faster here. Not that these players don't matter. This is not brought to you by Fantasy Pros. This is brought to you by Run the Sims. If you haven't gotten to Run the Sims, it's okay. Don't worry. August 15th is the magic date when they are going to be dropping some amazing content for DFS. But right now, you're lucky. This week, I'm going to be doing a series of pop-up podcasts, as we call them. Tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'm going to be breaking down each day here. I'll jump on YouTube. I'll be on Twitter. I'll be talking. Mike, you're welcome to join as well. You're always welcome to jump in. I'm going to be going over how to use the projections tool. I'm going to be talking about how to use the DFS optimizers and all the different tools in the DFS section. And then on Thursday, we're talking gambling, betting, wagering. And Maryland is quickly trying to get this in our hands, and our mobile apps are passing laws. They're changing things. This is going to become a reality real soon for us. The Run the Sims betting tools over there, they're like guaranteed to make you money. He teaches you how to hedge, what exactly to put in. There's a hedge calculator that you can bet live odds of live stuff going on. But it's just, I love it, man. Like, I'm going to be using this to make money. The Run the Sims, this is what it's designed for. It's designed for people who want to make money. Right? That's what it's for. You have an edge in all of these just because of the numbers. You're playing numbers. And this is perfect with Nimble with numbers. This is what I'm about. I love the data. I'm not just talking out of my ass. I sound like it, but I'm good at talking out of my ass. But I'm using numbers, and that's the key. That's the key. It's all about the numbers. All right? You got to back up your talk with the stats. If you're just talking about you think Daniel Jones is the best because blah, 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 that's fine. You think Eli's this and that, that's fine. I don't like Eli because he threw 300.
Oh, you didn't like Eli's stats though, bro. You were not. You were doing an eye test on him.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I shared my stats. There's a plethora of stats. There's the fact that he, is 500. There's the fact that he has 7 winning seasons. The fact that he was never in the top 5 in passing, for his team ever. All these things. But Do you have other stats for you? I agree.
Those are good stats.
Yeah,
Those are good stats.
And you know what? The 369 turnovers just gets my goat. Like that dude,
That's a great stat.
he's got 44 fourth quarter comeback tying drives or winning drives. It's one of the highest in the league. And I thought about it. I was like, man, that's just remarkable, man. What a clutch guy. Yeah, he was. He was losing his team all these games. He was turning the football. He was fumbling the ball. And someone said to me, shout out Pat Thorman. Somebody said, Pat Thorman, what do you think? Because I said, why is he not a Hall of Famer? And I put his 500 record, and most people went for the 500 record. And Pat Thorman said, quarterback wins and losses really isn't a thing. I said, I agree with you, but his 369 turnovers impacted those wins and losses. Like, you can't withdraw his experience from those games and say that it didn't matter. He lost his team a lot of games by turning the football over. That's how it works in football. I know this. I've been watching it for 37 years. So anyway, let's get into round 7. My credentials, I'll flop them around again later. Don't worry. I always do. It's good to be back. This is getting great. This is the passion of football. Paramount right now. I'm just so amped up. If you told me we play the Turkey Bowl tomorrow morning, I would be there. I would be knocking heads right now. I really would. This is great. Okay. Your boy last year who sunk your battleship, bro. Raheem Mostert.
One of many players that sunk my battleship.
By the way, last year I got 3rd in the BFS. Mike got 12th. He was last. And here's why he was last. His first picks were Michael Thomas. Second pick was Lamar
Jackson.
Third pick was DJ Moore. Fourth pick was Raheem Mostert. Fifth pick was who? Michael Gallup. So that was
not Michael Gallup.
Sixth pick, I don't know. Anyway, Raheem Mostert, last year's trash. Is he this year's treasure?
Let me hear what you have to say about him first. You spit on him first.
I think that if he can stay healthy, that he is a tremendous value here.
Mm-hmm.
But I would not draft him without also drafting Trey Sermon. I think if you're going to target any backfield in the NFL, the two I would go after this year is the Ravens and the Niners. That's what I would do. I don't like handcuffs. Oh, sorry. And then the Browns too. I've done that as well. Those are running backs that you can get at different levels. So you're Raheem Mostert here in the 6th, and then you go and get Trey Sermon in the 7th, Trey Sermon in the 8th or 9th. That's what I would do. But I would have that as a strategic plan the whole time, and I wouldn't luck box into it. I'd draft accordingly with other running backs that had high upside in the first round. So I wasn't relying on him as my RB2. I want him as my RB3. So I'd have to get 2 other RBs, and in this 7th round, be picking him as my RB3. That's kind of where I'd strategically do it. But you don't know if he's going to be around in your drafts. People overvalue, undervalue him. That's where I'm standing on him right now. If he's here, I think I'm going to get him and Trey Sermon. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that. That would be my strategy too. I remember last year watching game 1 and watching him get 30 points in our league.
Fastest run of the season, right?
No, that might have been game 2 where on 8 carries he had almost 30 points in that game, and I remember just being like, I'm a genius. I told everyone to get Raheem Mostert, and then he was basically
injured.
Nothing for the rest of the season.
He got hurt. An injury.
Yeah, he got hurt. When he did come back in, there were some moments where again you would see him flash. But Kyle Shanahan did kind of get away from using him. Everyone is focusing in on his age, which is relevant. He's 29, but everyone forgets the fact that he really only played running back for 2 seasons. He's just like one of these amazing like Disney movie stories of some guy who comes off the special teams and is now almost won them a Super Bowl. I mean, he was the driving factor in that San Francisco run to the Super Bowl. He was amazing. So I think Hall
of Famer? No, I'm kidding.
I think he is going to have big games, but I would totally adopt that strategy and make sure I had Sermon. And that backfield is always weird. He always kind of rides a hot hand, but I bet you Raheem Mostert has big games this year.
I agree. And I think Kyle Shanahan knows how to create space, and he can, when he gets a lane and he can get up speed, that's what you do. You get past people because you're going faster than them. So I like it. I like it. I'll tell you something I don't like is Cortland Sutton. The reports out of camp are that he is laboring to recover from his injury 11 months out. He tore his ACL, I believe, as well. But he's not as sure-footed, I think, is what the beat reporters were saying yet. Still trying to get his step in camp. I mean, maybe it's Locke and Bridgewater. I don't know. They're not great. You don't have Aaron Rodgers throwing you the football. So there's not something we could be like, well, yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers. That guy's the problem. So maybe it's a little bit of this and that. But I'm out on Cortland Sutton until I get reports from camp that he is assimilating into the offense and that he is able to kind of pick up where he was going towards. So right now he's a fade for me, but I'm open. I'm not changing my mind on any. Listen, by the way, when we say fades and neutral, a second of information can change the whole landscape of fantasy football, folks. Cam Akers changed the landscape. Aaron Rodgers changed the landscape. This happens regularly during the preseason and during the regular season. The landscape gets changed all the time. Raheem Mostert coming out of nowhere, almost winning a Super Bowl for the Niners. Stay frosty. But Cortland Sutton is somebody who I'm passing at wide receiver 31 right now.
Okay, I'm a big smash here. I'll see if I can sway you. I had not been hearing these reports in camp that you have been. So I've actually heard that he's looking great. So I guess we're getting different sources, different intel. My main thing is that, again, he tore his ACL last year in the first game. He's fine. Like, again, it's not an injury that, it's not like tearing your Achilles. He's 6'4". He's 215 to 220 pounds. These are the kind of guys I want on my football team. He had 1,100 yards with Drew Lock and Joe Flacco. He's Pro Bowl wide receiver that year. He's elite, and I'm a big smash on Cortland Sutton. So
you just said elite and Joe Flacco back to back, but not in the same sentence. That's impressive. And
right.
And I'll tell you what else is impressive is tomorrow we have Lindsay OK from everywhere. She's been published, seen, heard, Deadspin, the NFL Network, Ravens, Bleacher Report, you name it, Fox Sports. Today, Playboy, she's got published. She's everywhere. She's awesome. So she's coming on the Fantasy Football Hot Stove Thursday. I can't do a show. I'll be flying to see my man Bo. I'll be in his car, probably enjoying California's heat and oppressive weather on the way to his house to drink some beers, eat some pizza, and hang out. So I can't have a show on Thursday. We moved it up to Tuesday, so you get a treat tomorrow. She is a class act. Really excited to have her on the show. We got great stories about her past and how she got to where she's going to be. So check us out. I had to drop it. I mean, after you put Flacco and elite, that's the tease. She's all about Flacco and elite. We're going to get to the bottom of it too. Why does she think he's elite? We want to know. We're going to figure it out. So I like your points. You're swaying me, but I'm not changing my wide receiver 2 theory. Jerry Jeudy is in that joint. I love him. Okay. Here, I love this. This is cool. We got back-to-back Eagles being drafted, one after each other, interchangeably. Devonta Smith, 2 to 3 weeks. He's got a little bit of an issue. I'm not sure it's going to be lingering right now. But what do you think about Dallas Goedert as tight end 7? This guy, look at him. He looks like a Thor hammer man. He looks great.
I do not want to waste a 7th round draft pick on someone who is going to be tight end 7. I mean, they don't get you a lot of points.
Not worth it.
No, not worth it. He had 500 receiving yards last year. He had 3 touchdowns. Whoopie-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. Let me check how many shares of him on Underdog I have. And this is authentic, folks. I'm going to show you my shares here on my phone. Let's see what I got going on here. Because I don't think I have any. If I'm wrong, if I have any, please.
I have some because he falls. I'll take him when he goes later than round 7.
Some shares. I have some shares.
Yeah, I'll take him. I'll definitely take him at round 9 or 10 for sure.
Right.
But he won't go that high. He's too hyped.
Yeah, he's too hyped.
He won't fall that low. I mean,
what a great way to say it. He's too hyped. What about Devontae Smith? Is he too hyped? Is Devontae Smith too hyped? Or right hyped?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the best wide receiver in the draft class. Like I think we both agreed that he has the better career out of everyone. He's going to have a better career than Jamar Chase. He's going to have a better career than Jalen Waddle. Everyone has said, the stuff I've read so far is that he is by far and away the best wide receiver on that football team. It's not even close.
Tremendous. Yeah.
Yeah. So, an MCL sprain, the he's got youth on his side. I'll thumb it up here for me.
I'm buying the dip. And I'm going to do when we go to the BFFs draft, if he's still kind of, people know he's injured. I was going to say stuff like, man, I can't believe Devontae Smith is injured. That little tiny leg guy. I'm going to poison the well on him at the draft because I want that guy to fall to me. I want him to fall to me. For sure. So, all right. Your boy Melvin Gordon, there he is. He looks good. He doesn't look like a trashy running back. What do you think about Melvin Gordon? 29, RB 29. You think you're going to draft him to not finish the season? What do you think?
I don't know.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm neutral.
I know. I'm not getting him on my teams. I'm not. He's going in the 11th round in underdog, man. People are just, I've gotten a few shares of the 12th round of Melvin Gordon. That's insane. In case, somebody gets hurt, he just has the upside of being, an RB2 every week if Williams gets hurt. But still, I don't think he's going to get hurt. So I'm not going to predict injuries. I just think at the end of the season, Melvin Gordon's not going to score the most points. So I don't want him from them. He might be a good early season DFS play or somebody you trade to the Javonte Williams owner. Maybe do that. Maybe he gets a couple first good games in there and you go, told you. And you're like, I'll trade him and then flip him, get somebody good back. So when his value diminishes and they're worried about the handcuff, there you go. You got a little something. So that's my thought. What about Michael Carter? This is the first Jet that's been on here. Woo, wow, the Jets have a player on there. Whoopsie freaking new Jets. I think that the Tampa Bay Bucks have already had like 3 players. The Falcons have had 2 players.
Yeah.
People have had like whole teams that are on here already.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh has had 4 players.
Yeah.
We're
popping the Jets cherry here with Michael Carter
on the board. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
What do you like?
I don't know. I don't have a lot of thoughts on him either. It's the Jets. I
don't think their offense is going to be tremendous. They got a nice Mekhi Becton is huge. I think he's in shape. He's going to be better. He was good, but he's going to be even better next year. They drafted another tackle. Maybe convert him to guard, I think. But still, they're going to be better at running the football than they were last year. They've got a better running back tandem. Frank Gore is no longer there, I hope. I don't know if he's just lingering in the locker room waiting for someone to get a injury. Like, hey, Frank, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just cleaning out my locker, man. Like, didn't you do that last year? Oh, old habits. I'm just cleaning out my locker, man. So I think Michael Carter will fall. I'm not going to draft him here. I'm not drafting either of these guys here. I'm out on both of these.
Yeah, me neither.
And here's another guy I'm out on. Your boy Super Bowl Lenny, which you see him just butt planting one of the Packers here. What a terrible picture. If I was, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint this or draw this, and I'm going to send it to Leonard Fournette because this is just humiliating. I love this. This is a great picture. But RB31, Leonard Fournette, do you think he remains hot or does he cool back off and save it up for the Super Bowl again next year? Or this year, I guess. But
I would say I'm just neutral. I think I would draft him around here. It's again, it's just kind of dependent on how my team looks, but he stole the starting job away. I was shocked at how good Ronald Jones was last year. I just didn't know he was that good. So it'll be an interesting backfield to watch, but Leonard Fournette, I think Tom Brady likes him better for pass protection. So I'm just basically neutral here.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I'm probably going to lean Ronald Jones just because he had a lot more rushing yards last year. He got more carries. And I don't know if that's because, Fournette just had to assimilate into the offense and then he picked it up.
He got injured too. He didn't have a complete. I mean, he didn't really start getting going until the very end of the season, and then he just took over the team in the playoffs. So,
well, Tom Brady took over the game script, and he just
right, and so that's why I think Leonard Fournette has a lot of value.
I'm gonna say I'm a little down on him because I've heard reports from people. I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking. I don't know if it was Underdog or who it was, Josh Norris. Somebody was talking about how, in the 2-minute offense, they're not going to have Leonard Fournette. So a lot of little passes and stuff. They're going to go into Gio Bernard now. And that's, if they
really?
Yeah, they were just talking about how Gio Bernard's going to run and has been running a lot of their he's their third down scat back. And then he's also their 2-minute offense hurry up guy because he can just dump off real quick out of the backfield. So that's the only thing I want to see. I want to see if that it kind of remains.
I'll believe it when I see it. I don't believe that.
Okay. I'm telling you, it's a report I heard from training camp. I'm not saying I believe.
No, I know. No, it's good intel.
It's
Appreciate the intel, sir. Appreciate it. I just it's hard to believe that he's gonna take away time from either one of those guys, Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette.
The way the offensive packages will kind of roll out, not try.
It's possible,
but
it's possible.
They might just be crushing people and not even need the 2-minute offense. So I mean, whoop-de-doo, you don't need it, So he's not. So yeah, it could be a moot point. All right, I'll tell you somebody who I love a lot. Matthew Stafford. I watched one of the videos of him separating his shoulder. I don't know, you've probably seen the video when he gets crushed and his shoulder separated, and then they end up being able to put him back in the game, or he puts himself back in the game and throws a touchdown to win the game, and then he runs off.
Oh yeah,
it's epic. He is, I think, everybody's kind of darling this year. He's got top 5 upside, top maybe 6 upside. And he's not a running quarterback, but he's got a plethora of wide receivers, including I think his name is Jacob Harris. I'm going to get it wrong. I'll look into my own writing I've done. But he's got a 6'5" converted wide receiver into a tight end to go along with Higbee, to go along with Deshaun Jackson, to go along with Atwell, and to go along with some guy named Cooper Kupp and some other guy named Robert Woods. And then, so there's a lot of, I think, passing that will happen in this offense this year. So I love him. What do you think of Stafford? You drafted him here?
Yeah. My feelings are not quite as strong about him as yours, but they're along your lines. And his floor is, 4,000 passing yards,
Right.
So it's safe floor.
Safe, right. A good quarterback. I think, and by the way, we're going to play in a guillotine league this year, where you one team gets eliminated each year. I think he'd be a great guillotine quarterback at his value. I think he really would. And by the way, I got invited into a guillotine league by Paul Charchian. Shout out Paul Charchian. We had him on FF Hot Stove last week, and guys from the football guys are in there. Got guys from shout out Troy and Dave. I love them, but like Joe is in there. I mean, the football guys are in there, like the main guys, like a bunch of just awesome industry guys. And so it's just cool. It's cool to be in those, and you're going to get one too. So I can't wait. Let's talk about somebody who you like. I know. DJ Shark Jr. I don't leave off the juniors, folks. Let's respect to the old man on that one. I don't care about him being a junior, but his man's a senior, so you got to give him his due. What do you think about DJ Shark?
Yeah, man, he fits into the Mike
Big
Collins.
That's Big Boys Club, man.
Yeah, I like the big boys. I like big boys. I like big boys that also run 4.3 40s. So I think a lot of people are fading him this year. Not me. If he's around at this position, I'm definitely going to take him. So yeah, if I have 3 wide receivers that are better than him and he's, my flex, oh Lord, love it.
Yeah. I'm looking at my shares of DJ Shark. I only have 3. So I
Mhm.
don't have a lot of DJ Shark. To show you a comparison, Elijah Moore's got 39, Gabe Davis 30. So,
Mhm.
as high as I go. All right. I do like him. I actually, though, I have Laviska Shenault finishing probably higher than him. We'll see what happens. I don't know. This offense is going to be interesting to kind of predict.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's I'll tell you why I'm not fading him too. Is I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be looking his direction. Like, of course he's going to try and throw the ball to somebody at 6'4".
I want to see him stay healthy. That's one thing. I think he can, but that's what I need. I need the big guys to stay healthy. A theme for the big guys. They get dinked, because they're mans. They're like Julio Jones. He's up there like fighting safeties and linebackers and getting, he's running, he's pounding his feet all the time. I think Julio Jones just runs around stomping. That's why his feet are always hurt. Just stop stomping, bro. All right. Speaking of stomping, Noah Fant had a lot of potential last year. People did draft him. He played okay at times. He was injured. He was stomping around there. What do you think about Noah Fant? You paying up for another tight end? Or you still fading the tight end?
I'm still fading tight ends, but I'm.
You like him ahead of Goddard?
Yeah, I like him ahead of Goddard. I do. I mean, they're in the same neighborhood for me. But I'm not going to waste my pick at this point on a tight end.
No, and here's the thing I just wanted to show you guys. We have in a couple of picks, we've got a lot of Denver players, right? We've got in this round, there's 4 of them. I wanted you guys to see that theme: Cortland Sutton, Melvin Gordon, right? Noah Fant, and then the last one's Jerry Jeudy. All right, I think out of all of these players, Jerry Jeudy has the highest upside. So when I'm buying into Jerry Jeudy, I'm buying somebody like Deshaun Jackson, somebody like Odell Beckham, who is gonna flash, but he's also going to get shut out at times. He's not going to get shut out completely, but he's not going to deliver. He didn't do that last year. He was more boom or bust. But I digress. I'll touch on him in a second. Robbie Anderson, all the way down here at wide receiver 34. I believe he finished as wide receiver 17 last year in PPR leagues in most standard form. What do you think about him? Half of his value. They took his price from last year and they doubled it, which is crazy.
I just hate Sam Darnold like so much. I just think he's the worst. I know that they've played together before, so they have a connection.
Yeah.
I think because of that, he's the wide receiver 1 on that team. I think DJ Moore is a better wide receiver. Yeah.
He had 66 receptions for almost 1,200 yards. That's ridiculous.
Right. That's the thing about Robbie Anderson. I'm neutral just because, Sam Darnold is a completely different quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater was just throwing him the ball every single chance. He had 136 targets last year.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I think he gets more like 100, 110. Because
right.
Terrace Marshall, who's a great breakout rookie candidate, is going to be in the slot, which is his natural position, and he's going to feast in the slot. Yeah, I think Robbie Anderson.
As much as he can feast off Sam Darnold, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you know what? They might have to make a mid-season trade for somebody. No, they're not getting Aaron Rodgers. All right, what do you think about Jerry Jeudy here? You snapping him up or are you passing on Jeudy?
Yeah, I'll snap him up here for sure. I'm surprised that ADP has Cortland Sutton ahead of him. I do, but I'm surprised that ADP's agreeing with me. Jerry Jeudy is scary talented. He also had 112, 113 targets last year, so he caught 50 of those balls. So that there's pretty big disparity there. But you saw him last year do things at times as a route runner that was totally showed why they spent the draft capital on him. It's just, again, to me, the idea that he's gonna, be on that offense, it's just I don't like that offense. So I'll take him at this position. It's not it's just basically neutral to slight thumb up for me.
Okay, Bo is gonna put that in his box and he's gonna remember it. So don't let Don't let him get you. All right.
What Bo think about him? Is he down?
He loves
Loves.
loves.
Okay.
Yeah, he loves him. He's not a believer in Cortland Sutton at all. He would tell you like 6 different reasons why to fade him, but whatever. I don't know. I'm in the middle. I do like Judy though. All right, we're transitioning to 3 tweets. A little bit of a long show tonight, but you know what? Thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate everybody who tuned in at any point of the show. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, smash all those things. If you're on Twitter, please give us a retweet. Tell people why you like our show. I think it's because of the sunglasses. I know lots of people really sunglasses because if you don't have a personality at all, which people have really honed in on me now. They know I'm just nothing, just air up there. I'm sexy is what I am. People know I got the jib. But this guy has really got the freaking jib. This video, Mike, if you've not seen it, it's got 52,000 views. So where the hell have you been if you haven't seen it? This is our guy, Jake Tobridge, who we just think is hilarious. He's been on here. Him, Denny, Cootadoodle are some of our favorites that we feature. Pete Overzet as well, but he's kind of fading with the emergence of this guy here. You want to hear this? Have you seen this one yet? Is this new for you?
Go ahead. Play it up. I've seen it.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
This close your eyes, by the way, and not if you're driving, but close your eyes if you're listening to this right now, and just listen who's talking right now. I'm going to close my eyes. You can't see. I got sunglasses on.
It is. I love it. I love fantasy football. I play it all the time. I'm obsessed with it, but it's fucking weird, and I have to acknowledge how weird it is. We're playing this fake game that's just supposed to be fun, right? Give you a little bit of juice on Sundays while you're watching NFL, some more rooting interest, maybe help you win a little bit of money. And people take this shit so serious. It's crazy. You ever want to know somebody's true character? Send them an intentionally bad trade offer. You will see the sweetest people have complete fucking meltdowns. Honestly, you can send just even a somewhat bad trade offer. These people who out in the real world are like the sweetest people. They'll help a grandma across the street when they're already running late for a meeting. Without second thought. But send them Tyler Boyd and Tyler Lockett for one of their favorite running backs and watch them have a goddamn meltdown. They'll post a video response in your league chat just so everybody's aware of how bad the offer was and how personally they took it. I can't believe you would insult my intelligence like that. I've been in fantasy football for 10 years. I've never got an offer this bad. It's ridiculous. Well, that same person, they'll send you a passive-aggressive counter offer. 12 guys they just picked up off of waivers that day. For your star player.
I've had this.
Pat Mahomes. For a bunch of these Jags they just picked up. They had to drop actual good players to get the bad enough players onto their team to send that offer. That fucking passive-aggressive offer. Oh, my God. It's funny. Oh.
It is funny.
Dude, yeah, dude, I'm so sad that we're not going to the Fantasy Football Expo this year. He's totally somebody I would love to hang out with. Next year when we go, I want to meet that dude. That guy just seems like he's just the coolest dude, man. He's amazing at impressions. And that right there, if you're a fantasy football nerd like we are, that's the funniest thing in the world.
Oh my God, Joe Bridge. Listen, I got to tell you, moving up, adjust your ranks, folks. Adjust your ranks.
It's a great impression, and it's so fantasy football nerdy. I mean, it's perfect.
Perfect. I've gotten those from Dan over in the BFFs. Yeah.
Oh, everybody gets them. That's why it's so good. Yeah. I mean, I mean that if people in the world love fantasy football as much as we did, that should have 1 million views. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Jake's the man. Hopefully, we have a guy here in DC named Danny Rouillet who got featured on NBA Tonight with Charles Barkley and Kenny Smith. and Shaq, I think it was K Smith there. I don't know. Shaq was there. And he can do the world's best Charles Barkley, like the best. No one can do a better one. Even Frank Caliendo's is not as good. Shout out Frank Caliendo. Love that dude. He's the best voice guy of all time in my mind. Caliendo is. But Danny Ruria crushed it. He got to go on. Jake Trowbridge could meet Bill. He could meet Bill. He could talk to Bill. He could be talking eye to eye with Bill. He could do that. You know what I mean? So that would be tremendous. Like, no offense to any of these amazing analysts we know. We went golfing with Denny Carter the other day. Awesome. Bill Burr? Are you freaking kidding me? That guy's a god amongst men. I love that guy. So,
Trowbridge's Burr is nothing compared to Rui's Barkley, though.
I know.
But still, what I love about it is it's good. It's good enough.
Yeah,
it's good enough, but like the content is hilarious. Like that. Yeah, I mean that's like, I mean, if he was a stand-up comedian at the expo doing that as his act for fantasy football nerds, I would be like, that's hilarious. That's so funny.
I'd go to that show immediately.
Yeah.
All right, here's your tweet.
Okay, let me explain my tweet.
Go for it.
So my tweet's not very fantasy related. Okay. So I don't know if anyone has been paying attention to Twitter lately. You know, we're Twitter heads. Maybe you didn't see this. We all have different timelines that tell us different things. My timeline the other day told me about all these celebs who don't shower.
Ashton
and then
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yes, Jake Gyllenhaal. So you saw it. You saw it, right?
I tweeted a picture of Jake Gyllenhaal. And I tweeted the story out. Maybe you read it off my feed. I don't know. You know?
No, it was on my news timeline. Just dirty celebs. Like it was just boom. It just there was like The Rock started weighing in, and then all these celebs started telling how much they did shower so they wouldn't get lumped in with the dirty celebs. So I'm scrolling through, and I'm just finding all these, you know, really funny different things. This was my favorite thing because I don't know if this is true. And this one only has 2 likes. I'm one of the likes. But this person wrote, I was reading the thread about these celebs admitting to not bathing regularly, and MFers started talking about pooping in the shower. So her Twitter, the threads she came across, because I was doing that. I was going through all the threads, and then I found her in this thread. Apparently her thread led her into people talking about not about not bathing, just how they poop in the shower. And it just made me glad to be alive and that the internet exists. And I love this tweet. So I thought, why not talk about it on 3 tweets?
I think it's perfect. I like your tweet a lot. Who do you think wins 3 tweets?
You could have it, bro. That was a great one. I'd already seen it. It didn't tickle my funny bone because I'd already seen it and I was aware of it. But I think that is just a very quality tweet by Master Jake Trowbridge. So
yeah, well, I'm trying to find my tweet now, and I'm having trouble finding it.
Well, I have like a backup cutesy one if you need one.
Why don't you send it over? Because I'm looking for mine right now, and it's just, guys, I gotta tell you, my timeline is just overwhelmed with my own content, not even anybody else's. I'm just looking at my own content, and I can't find what I'm trying to find today. You go ahead.
This one's not funny. It's just crazy. It's just cool. I don't know if you see it,
okay,
but it's worth watching. It's just another one of these great things you see on the internet.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day
Are they playing catch?
Yeah, they're playing catch with like a bottlenose dolphin
Oh my gosh!
in the ocean. Like they're throwing him like a football,
Yeah,
and like a dog. He's playing with these fishermen.
yeah, he's not afraid of them.
It's like a rugby ball.
That's crazy. I'm gonna look for my video while your video plays. This is a cool video.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
All
right, you better pause it before YouTube gets mad at the music.
No, we don't want to steal anyone's music. That's not appropriate. We're not into stealing. I'm going to find my tweet and I'm going to read it here. Maybe you guys don't get to see it, but you'll get to hear it. It came from Michael Thomas today. Did you see what Michael Thomas said today?
Yeah, just something, it was again fit into the CD Carter mold.
Yeah.
I saw a CD Carter tweet, please stop tagging me.
Yes. No, he did. He said, please stop tagging me. It was very funny.
Yeah.
I can't find it. What I did is I tweeted what Michael Thomas said. And I should actually check Denny's feed. I think that's the smart way to do it. Let me do that. So yeah, I said, is Denny Carter ever wrong? And I put his tweet next to there's Denny. So I think Denny retweeted mine. So let me see where he's at here. Hopefully Denny Carter didn't tweet a lot today because that guy never tweeted.
Right.
You know what I mean? So but if I can get to it, I do think it was pretty funny. Yeah, there's the Michael Thomas one. Shows grinding to a halt.
Yeah.
Yeah, grinding. Yeah. Apparently, Denny's got a lot of tweets too, just like me.
Yeah, I didn't think you're gonna find it on his timeline. It's like that guy tweets more than you do.
But not more than Steffi Smalls. She tweets more than anybody does. That we've decided.
Denny's pretty prolific, dude.
Yeah, I think here it is. This is my.
He
tweet.
never logs out.
Yeah, he never does. This is the tweet. I just said, when has Denny Carter ever been wrong? And we're going to go back to it. Typical QB tweet. Love my teammates. God is good. Right? RB tweet. Keep grinding. Tight end tweet. Derp. Which I just want to know what derp means. Like I didn't look it up, but
it's just like duh, or it's like yeah.
Kittle. Just
that's yeah.
So, which is hilarious. One of the funniest things on this tweet, by the way. Really underplayed the derp, right? But then, right, of course, wide receiver tweet, the enemy speaks kindly and holds a knife. Okay, so this might be the most perfect example of this ever, if not for A.J. Brown, which we don't see anymore because he's been blocked. They tried to damage your reputation. So he's talking about himself in the third person. That's great. You saved theirs by not telling your side of the story, really implicating that they're bad and you're good. This is perfect.
It's amazing.
This is just like, I told my wife this. My wife was like, okay, whatever, who cares? I don't think you understand. Like, this is like incredible. Like, this is like winning the lottery, this tweet here. Denny said it's what he's going to be remembered by. He says it's going to be on his tombstone. So I wanted to put it and just nail it in there because it's so freaking funny. And Denny Carter wins 3 tweets for me. And this dude, we went golfing with him, and he's a great guy. We had a great time golfing. I'm really excited to be able to go golfing with him again, and we're gonna beat you and Caleb this time, bro. We're coming for you, And I want to say, for the record, during that golfing time, that I got a birdie, and I'm gonna tell the story here, and you can wait until the end, and then you can trash the story. Wait till the end. This is my story. So I'm behind Caleb watching him. I'm suck at golf. I don't have a routine. I don't have a routine. That's the problem. I go up there, I do something different every time, right? So I'm watching Caleb. He goes up on like 120-yard par 3, and he does 3 quick, really like practice swings right next to his ball. And I'm just like, wow, man, like, yeah, like he's and then he hits it the exact same way. And I was like, okay, so you really need to practice the exact same way. I'm just like trying to not divot the club when I practice swing. I'm just kind of afraid I'm going to do something bad. I'm not good at it. I'm not good at golf. So I'm going to practice like him. So I swing, and the ball hits the edge of my club. It does. And the ball flies off the tee, goes like almost like if I'm here, it goes like a 90-degree angle. It was crazy, right? It could have hit somebody right next to me almost, right? And then you guys see me hit, and then you just take off and you leave, right? You start the cart immediately. I turn around and start waving. You don't see me. You don't see me at all. Denny sees me, and I was like, that was a practice. And then you guys finally stop like a third of the way down driving. And I'm like, guys, it was an accident. And you're like, oh, it was an accident. Okay. I was an accident. And then I crushed an amazing tee shot that landed about 15 feet from the hole. And then after that, I hit a great birdie putt that drained in like tigers, just down and boom. And then you tried to throw some shade on that birdie putt, so it was fake. But here's the thing. Not counting that shot off the tee, I hit it in 2 shots. I had 1 shot and then 2. That was a practice
Right.
swing malfunction. Just putting it out there. We're not Lee Trevino and Fuzzy Zeller playing for the Masters. We are just a bunch of bros out there having fun. It's my first birdie. I'm counting it. Denny counted it, and we won that hole. So that's the story. You can call me Trump and all that stuff now. That's fine.
It's fine, man. I'll just say this: it was definitely a very cool par. Like, it was a very cool par 3 that you shot.
Or chucker. It wouldn't even have
It
been
was.
par. It would have been a bogey because I'd have been dropping. So
No. I guess, yeah. It was a mulligan. It was a great birdie with the mulligan.
We're not playing mulligan, so it was a great birdie. But on that note, I would just say this has been a great show. I love all our shows. Thank you for checking out. Bo, sorry I wasn't in the comments. I wasn't able to see the comments because the whole time I had my screen shared because my TV's not working, my computer's not working. I'm fighting viruses here. But please do go check out my show with Adam Rank. I did that today on the Big Douglas Show. Check that out. It's in my feed. I'll tweet it out again. Adam Rank's ridiculous. I want to have him on the show. He's awesome. He was making me LOL in there. He's great. Go check out the podcast. It's worth listening to for him, not even for me. It's a short one, like 40 minutes, not long like ours. It's not like 180 minutes like ours. But I'll say this also. This Friday, we have on Chalk Block, we have Field Yates. My guy Field Yates is coming on. Shout out Bo, big time for grabbing him and getting him to come on. I'm going to be in California with Bo, enjoying Casa de Bo. I am so excited to be hanging out with him and the fam, and we're going to be doing that. So make it a priority to listen to that show. 11 p.m. on Friday. We will be live YouTube, here on Twitter. It's going to be the shit. It's Field Yates. Also excited to announce, too, that I've partnered with Brian Jester from Occupy Fantasy. We're going to be rolling out some DFS optimizers all year long. It's going to be incredible this year. Run the Sims, Underdog, Occupy Fantasy, Sports Gambling Podcast Network. We're taking over little by little. Nimble with numbers. Bo's working for the Ball Blast team. He's working for IBT over there as well, official sponsor of their whole syndicate with his hot sauces. And by the way, you should definitely go to go get some Hotbox over at BigTimeFlavor.co. I remembered it, Bo. And then also BigTimeFlavorCo.com, all those kinds of things. Go get yourself some Hotbox, get a bundle. We're going to be trying, I think we're making a batch while I'm there. I think it's one of the things we're going to do. We're going to make some Hotbox. I know. I'm going to get to do it. Dude, I'm just so excited for this. Bo McBigtime is the freaking man. I cannot wait to hang out with him. I love him so much. I get to hug him. We're vaxxed. Don't worry. We're vaxxed and waxed, bros. We're going to be good to go. So check us out. Follow Mike at the Ralph Macho on Twitter. I'm Nimble W Numbers. Check out the FantasyMillionaires.com in a couple weeks when we drop our PDF. It's going to cost you like $2 or $3, but you know what? It goes to a good cause. It means that we can do more PDFs in the future, and then eventually we can get this bad boy rolling, and we can become Fantasy Millionaires. So look for that. Anything else we got to pump?
No, man, I got nothing else. What do you think I'm going to say?
I think you're going to say peace and love.
Peace and love, bro.
Yeah, peace and love. Peace and love, everybody. And we'll see you guys next time on the Fantasy Millionaires. Peace.